This is an interesting story. The Dark Nobles come to the negotiating table. The highest level beings who have influenced our world from the dark forces call themselves the Dark Nobles. What happened, attended by Archangel Michael and many others from the spiritual world, including the higher selves of humanity, is that the Dark Nobles came to the negotiating table, and this is the interesting story of that experience. They came in surrender, although no one mentioned that word at the time, out of honoring their presence and of allowing them to save face. They agreed to relent and to give up their activities. All those who did not relent were removed from the earth or were taken out in the act of adherence to their dark activities. This had both already occurred and was yet to come. This is the paradox of quantum reality. And those who choose to surrender to the light were what remained. The remaining Dark Nobles agreed to shift the nature of their beings and of their essence to the light. The Dark Nobles asked for a job, therefore, of this level of importance and trustworthiness. Thus, they were made guardians of the peace portal. At the time, I did not understand why they were given such a role. But over time, I learned, in creation, there is no judgment over the energetic nature of activities. Once a desire to return home has been made, to re-embody and realign with the light that we are, this attitude of the divine, of accepting back without judgment, is revealed in the Bible story by Jesus of the prodigal son. However, now as I tell this story, I see what the peace portal really was. This meeting with the Dark Nobles and the spiritual realms and these negotiations occurred several years ago in Earth time, in a space of no time. In the following years, as the ability for physical and non-physical dark forces to leave the planet by ship interdimensionally was shut down, eventually all that was left was an ancient stargate in the solar system that had been brought here to this solar system for the purposes of exiting these dark forces from the earth. Over the years, I have seen many significant dark forces, such as the Owl of Moloch and others, escorted to and then through this stargate, as they were located, found, wrapped by the angels of Archangel Michael's legions, and escorted to and then through this stargate to points beyond this solar system and most likely outside of our universe. Archangel Gabriel is the one that oversees this activity of assigning what energy and entities go here or there. This is a battle that is hard won. Just before the August 21st, 2017 eclipse, that event went across the United States. Well, just beforehand, this stargate was aligned with the entry point of these eclipse energies on the landmass of the United States of America. I know that when I went out that day during the eclipse and looked up, what I saw in energy was many interdimensional, meaning the astral layer and more, and specifically demons flying about. They were flying about in a flurry, looking for a spot to land and wanting to cause havoc, which is their nature. Now I see that because the Stargate was aligned with the journey of these energies of the eclipse across the USA, part of its purpose was to collect and escort these energies that were stirred up, and these entities. They were escorted off the land and out of the non-physical realms. Now remember, because the Stargate acts in a space of no time interdimensionally, that means that from our perspective as human beings, its action goes on longer than just the moment of the eclipse. It's essentially available until the time for the process is done, until its completion. This Stargate is the peace portal. It facilitated peace through the removal of these dark forces, and of all for whom it was no longer in the highest good to be present on this planet, on Earth. It allowed a departure route. It allowed for a highly monitored and regulated withdrawal of the dark forces. You know, this is the second time that I've seen the dark forces come back to take care of or take out and remove their own during the process of withdrawing from this planet. Each faction has its own opportunity to do so. Those executing these orders of removal bear no dissent. How long it takes for all of this to play out in our physical world is unknown. In energy, it is already done. The surrender comes to pass. The dark nobles fall from power. This is the nature of our time.